and said, "You want to say something?" And I said, "Do you not have enough in the program to say?" Well, last night we got up to Mark's, and within about 15 minutes we said, "Yeah, we want to say something." So you're gonna need to take this off. Let him get set up a little. We got him talking to Mike.
You don't have to.
I think they can hear me.
Craig.
All right, slide over.
Craig.
So as we were talking through the
We got
evening,
this shirt today. From my brother and sister-in-law.
we decided to come up with a list, a top list, and we came up with a top 100 list. So then we thought we better whittle it down, and we came up with a top 10 list. But as we were driving down here, we added one more to it, so bear with us, it's a top 11 list. There's like 8A and 8B, so it's number 10 is the Perm King. Do not touch Jerry's hair. It's got to look a certain way. Mom could not cut it. If she did, it had to be like 1/16 of an inch. Nope, just the one. So we're like,
What's the next one?
So for that, he gets a little wig, and you can pass those around. Everybody can see that. It's a nice little picture of him. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
Picture. Number 9. You'll have to sit down, Craig.
Is this it?
Yep. You can put that on if you want, Jerry.
So
This-
you take your life in your own hands when you gotta put it up your chest. When you're driving with Jerry, because all of a sudden
It was much harder than that.
I have permanent damage to my chest. He's driving down the road.
During that time, I'm sitting in the back seat, and Craig yells at him, what is that for? And they get in this argument, and then they both turn around and say, "Do not say a thing to Mom and Dad." We still don't remember what they were
I
actually
still
arguing
don't know what I
about,
did
but-
wrong.
Number 9,
You
or
upset
number 8, 8. The piece of wood is from Craig and I. The punch is from Dad. So we had to load firewood from our sawmill down into our basement, usually every weekend, and for whatever reason, Jerry did not seem to like this job, and was always grumpy. And so I'm on the front of the pickup, and I'm tossing the wood forward, and he's taking the wood and throwing it down to the chute to Craig. And so I happen to not look, throw the piece of wood, and hit him in the finger. He takes the piece of wood and throws it back at me and hits me in the leg. Dad happens to be looking out the window. He comes walking outside. Boom! How does that feel? And then just walk back in. So now Jerry is grumbling at me. He's throwing the wood down hard at Craig. Craig's yelling back at him, and he doesn't care. He just wants to get it over with, so you get to have that.
set this down for me.
8B. 8B. You can stand up. Go ahead a little bit. Right up there.
Right there.
Is that good? Okay, go ahead. Okay, you can sit down now. That was payback from Craig.
So
I was glad. Go ahead.
I was just talking to my uncle Alan. He was on vacation, so we went to help my dad milk the cows. And for some reason, and this was Jerry's fault, I stand to this day that it's his fault. But anyway, he somehow pushed Mark down behind the cow got startled, he kicked, and Dad just came around the corner, and I was the only one standing there. He came out, boom, kicked me in the butt. So.
And I got 6 stitches upside my ear from the cow. So, kick is from...
Paybacks are, well, you know what that is.
Number 7.
Mom, you remember these? You remember these?
I'm videoing this.
So,
It's a pair of vice grips if you can't see it.
our first car, of course, Jerry's the oldest. He's almost a year and a half older than me. So he got the car, and it was a Rambler Classic, 1966 Rambler. Well, in the Rambler,
Really ugly.
it had,
It's not what I asked for. That's what I got.
it had a crank handle on the side of both seats, where if you cranked this, the seats would go back, and it made kind of a flat bed with the seats in the back. Well, Mom obviously found out those cranks were in there, and the next time we're in the car, those things are gone. So, what does Jerry do? He finds some vice grips, stuck them under the seat, so here you go. Another set of vice grips.
Number 6 is the Buick.
What is it?
Buick.
Oh, yeah. So, Dad had just gotten a car, and it was a Buick Electra, 454 on it, and it would go. So, he lets Jerry drive it, and Jerry says, "Let's go up the road a ways." And I honestly said this, let's not do that. That's a bad idea, Jerry, bad idea. So he goes anyway, and it was a little snow on the ground, and he's fishtailing down the road, and all of a sudden we're in the ditch. And we tried to get it out. Finally, somehow, I don't know if we ended up calling Dad or he found out. Small town, you find stuff out. So here he comes, gets in the car, once again, doesn't say a word, backs it right out, stops, gets in his car, and he drives away. And so, anyway, Jerry, good job.
Number 5, he needed his watch.
Oh, that's right. So Jerry had a problem with curfew, so I'm giving him my watch, and it's set 30 minutes ahead of time because he was my ride, and he was always late for curfew. He would get the car keys taken away from him, and when he'd get them back a couple weeks later, and the next time, same thing. And 2 weeks later, the next time, same thing. Well, like I said, I didn't get to go anywhere. So he was always at home. So anyway, 30 minutes, you got 30 minutes now extra.
Yeah, and my dad would always flick the light on at time to get in here, don't Judy?
So most of the abuse is done now. Number 4. This is more from me than my brother probably, but he was a big part of it as well. But watching my brothers grow up and playing sports together, as I'm 5 years younger than Craig and 6 years younger than Jerry, And so watching them was a privilege, and also being able to play in the background on our farm and stuff. So I know when I told my mom when I was about to have kids that I would like to have two boys that are close together to be able to watch them play sports. And so the interesting thing about Jerry and Craig is I have two boys that are Sam and Jack, and they are exact same dates apart. So just 3 months earlier. Jerry's birthday is 11/23. Sam's birthday is 8/23. Craig's birthday is 2/15. Jack's birthday is 11/15. Both exactly 15 months apart. So pretty weird. Number 3, obviously you have a lot of friends and family that probably were at this event as well. I know at least probably half the people and all of the people from Lewiston were here, but watching the state tournament was a joy for everybody. We would like a couple days of your vacation time though that I know you've built up, because we had to rearrange our schedules so that we could come to each weekend and come early, and our vacation plans were all messed up because of it. But obviously a super big event in both Craig's and our family's lives.
For those of you who don't know, I was also a teacher and a coach. When that was going on, I went to my principal and said, listen, I said, my brother's in a state tournament, and this was the game, and I said, the problem is, whether they win or lose, I want to go next week too. So anyway, it was like 3 weekends in a row, and they said, no problem, take off. So, pretty cool. Number 2?
Number 2.
Which one is it? I don't have them in order. Oh boy. So about 40 years ago, there was a new girl that came to Peterson, Minnesota. Her name was Judy. So she's a good volleyball player, pretty, all of a sudden, so I'm a year ahead of her. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna have to ask her out, check out what's going on here, get to know this girl. And within a couple weeks, he comes home, I met this girl. You probably know her, she just new to Peterson. And I said, oh yeah. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So anyway, stole my first love away? I don't know.
We say that because obviously, congratulations to you, Judy, too, for putting up with him for this whole time as well, because you've certainly been a lot of support to him. And the number 1 top 11 list for Jerry is?
We don't get many of these anyway, but anyway, we will not have to see another text that says 89 days left. And then when y'all had the snow down here and they were out anyway, what were the texts
next
then?
day you had canceled school for I think 2 days straight. It's like 88 and 87 just gone.